Hey guys, Scare9 here, welcome back to my channel today, and in this video, I want to talk about the Crimson Days event of 2019, and I want to go into detail on the reward system, the game mode itself, and just the event as a whole. How did it do in my opinion? How could they have improved it? Were the rewards all right? How did I like the triumphs? Etc, etc, etc. And as always, I'm going to be tying in some of your guys' comments as part of the discussion. Make sure to leave your own thoughts and opinions down in that comment section below. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. So first off, Crimson Days 2019. What changed? What is it different from 2018 and that sort of thing? Was it worth it? Yeah, I think it was a lot of fun. It was only a week event, which is kind of weird. And Fireman actually kind of hit on this as part of his discussion. He said the length of the time the event lasted was miscommunicated. The originally expected 2 weeks was decreased to 1. That wasn't that big of a problem, but when combined with the loot expectation, it became a bigger issue, and we'll get into that in a second. But yeah, I can't remember an exact source where Bungie actually told us how long this event was actually going to be. I had no idea going into it. I was just kind of assuming it was going to be a longer event because everything has been a longer event in Destiny 2. So I was definitely surprised when it was only a week long as well. I definitely feel like the communication of this was not handled well. I feel like Bungie knows that this month is going to be huge for looter shooters, you know, with the release of Anthem and with the release of The Division. So they're just kind of laying off. They're just kind of on autopilot right now. They know we're going to be experimenting with a lot of other games and that sort of thing. So they're kind of saving all of their big content pushes for later in the year when we all come back to Destiny. I think that's very smart. And I feel like that probably influenced this event quite a bit. Now, this event was a lot of fun. It was pretty much the same thing as the Crimson Days of 2018. You know, it was doubles playlist. You, whenever you were with your teammate, you charged up super fast. However, whenever your teammate died, you got a bunch of extra buffs. But when you were apart, the enemy could see you through walls and that sort of thing. So it was very, very, very similar. All of the loot was similar. There were only 2 notable items that were added in addition to the loot from 2018, that being the Vow Bow, as well as the Sugary Shell Ghost Shell, which you got for completing all of the triumphs with this event. So there wasn't that much, and I think that goes into my main complaint with this event. There wasn't a lot. I think Christian Waters hit on it perfectly. He said, I absolutely love the game mode and the cosmetics, but thought that there should have been more of these cosmetics and more things to go after. In my opinion, there should have been way more triumphs or more things to chase after. Overall, I enjoyed the event, but I thought it could have been much better, and I absolutely agree with the sentiment. There was a lot of loot in perspective if you were a brand new player or something like that, but if you had earned all of this the last time around, there really just wasn't that much. Like I mentioned, it was really only those 2 items to go for, and I feel like that negatively impacted this event a lot for a lot of returning players. Now, you could be like Mike Efford. He made a very good point from the other perspective where he said, I thought it was great because a lot of new players have joined since year 1, and so it gives them a chance to catch up to those who have already have the loot, and it gives everyone else another shot at getting the thing they really wanted last time but couldn't get. So I understand this perspective. I really respect this perspective and that sort of thing, but it really doesn't change the fact that I didn't have too much to play for, which is fine. You know, that's a very selfish viewpoint, and I get that. It's almost kind of elitist in a way, you know, but I definitely understand where he's coming from. What I wish Bungie would have done is just added a couple more items. This event is only a week long. I don't need a ton to grind for, but a little bit more would have been nice. Take, for example, the custom ornament and the different emote within the Eververse store. If these were added to the loot pool and they were exclusive to people who played last year, or maybe they just gave you additional things to grind for, or, you know, there were more triumphs or something like that, that would have been perfect. 4 items to grind for instead of 2 definitely would have increased the longevity of this event by, you know, at least twice as much, right? So I think that definitely would have been a great thing to do. Now, another thing I want to hit on are the triumphs. They were all pretty easy. They are all pretty fun, nothing crazy, and I really like that. This system where you get to kind of progressively go through the event, track your progress through it, and then get an end reward at the end. It worked perfectly for the Festival of the Lost. It worked really well for the Dawning, and it worked extremely well for Crimson Days 2019 as well. I definitely really like this type of gameplay. Now, that being said, I also really like the secret triumphs that they put in. I wish they would have explained those a little bit more. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I made a video about this last week. I'll have it linked at the end of the video, but essentially there were 3 secret triumphs associated with 3 three exotics, the first one being the twin-tailed fox, then the crimson, as well as the vigilance wing. So there was a lot of kind of weirdness around these triumphs, but they did just seem to be completely random and just hidden in this event, which is very interesting. But maybe if they associated one of those items from Eververse with those three triumphs, I can see that being really, really cool. So a really fun event, but the loot was kind of lackluster unless you did not play last year. If you are a player that likes to keep up to date with these sort of things and you like to grind for everything as it comes out, you probably were not too impressed with this event. That being said, the loot we did get was really cool. The sugary shell was a favorite in Destiny 1. I really like it. But on top of that, the vow is freaking amazing. I definitely would consider it the best PvP bow in the game in terms of legendaries. It was a lot of fun to use in Crimson Doubles itself, and all around, it was a lot better than I expected. And then, like I said, unfortunately, the rest of the rewards are stuff that I had already earned before, but they're pretty cool for new players as well. But that's really the entirety of the event. It was a lot of fun in terms of Crimson Doubles itself. It wasn't exactly the most balanced thing in the world in terms of some of the abilities coming back super quickly and just being super spammy in general, but I definitely do think that the doubles playlist should be a permanent part of Destiny, or at least a weekly rotating playlist, because it's a lot of fun even without the added ability stuff that Crimson Doubles provides. On top of that, the rewards were pretty good, but could have been a lot better because, there just wasn't enough. There could have been more new things. And then at the end of the day, the triumphs were perfect in my opinion. So that's where it comes down to for me. You guys voted in my poll. Over 1.3 thousand of you did. 85% said there probably could be some improvements on this event. And I definitely think that's where it's going to fall. It's definitely not the best event Bungie's ever done for Destiny, but it was still a pretty good one. I would consider it a success at the end of the day. So like I said, let me know your opinions down in the comment section below. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like rating and share it with your friends. If you are interested in watching either of the two videos on screen, you can click at their respective annotations to be taken to them. If you're brand new to my channel, make sure the giant version of my logo on screen be subscribed to my awesome Destiny 2 videos and live streams. Thank you guys so much for watching today, and I will see you in my next video.